What if the secret to life, the very essence of existence, was hidden in an ancient text, kept out of reach for centuries? What if this text held answers so profound, so controversial, that it was deliberately excluded from the Bible? Today we dive into the mystery of the Tripartite Tractate, a manuscript shrouded in secrecy and forgotten by most. Why was it buried in the sands of time? What truths does it reveal that were deemed too dangerous for mainstream belief? If this text holds the key to understanding the divine, why was it hidden from us? Join me as we uncover the hidden wisdom of this ancient scripture and explore its potential to reshape everything we thought we knew about life, faith, and the universe. Are you ready to unlock the truth? Let's start with the fascinating story of how the Tripartite Tractate came to light, a discovery that rocked the world of ancient religious studies and changed our understanding of early Christianity forever. In December 1945, a group of farmers in the Egyptian village of Nag Hammadi made a discovery that would send shockwaves through the academic and spiritual communities alike. While digging for fertilizer near a cliffside, they unearthed a sealed clay jar. Inside this jar was something no one expected, a collection of 13 leather-bound codices containing over 50 ancient texts. This discovery is now known as the Nag Hammadi Library. At first, the farmers had no idea of the significance of their find. They even used some of the papyrus pages as kindling for their fires. But eventually scholars got their hands on these manuscripts, and what they found was extraordinary. Among these texts were a treasure trove of Gnostic writings, alternative scriptures that offered radically different interpretations of Christianity and spirituality. These included works like the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, and of course the Tripartite Tractate. So, what exactly is the Tripartite Tractate? The name itself gives us a clue. It translates to three-part treatise. This text is structured in 3 distinct sections, each dealing with profound and complex theological ideas about the nature of God, the creation of the universe, and humanity's role within this divine framework. But here's the twist. Unlike many other Gnostic texts, the Tripartite Tractate is not overtly critical of mainstream Christian beliefs. Instead, it seeks to expand on them, offering a deeper, more mystical interpretation of divine truths. Now, what makes this text so unique? Unlike other Gnostic writings, which often present a stark dualism between spirit and matter, or even reject the material world outright, the Tripartite Tractate offers a more nuanced perspective. It focuses on unity, how all aspects of existence, both spiritual and material, emanate from a single divine source, often referred to as the monad. This makes the text less antagonistic toward mainstream Christianity and more focused on exploring the mysteries of existence in a philosophical and mystical way. The Tripartite Tractate also serves as a bridge between Gnostic thought and early Christian theology. It incorporates ideas that would later become central to Christian mysticism, but were too complex or too controversial for the early church to embrace. But why was this text hidden for so long? The answer lies in the political and religious climate of the early Christian era. By the 4th century AD, Christianity was becoming institutionalized under the Roman Empire. The Church was in the process of defining a unified doctrine, and texts that didn't align with this emerging orthodoxy were deemed heretical. The leaders of the Church sought to suppress Gnostic writings like the Tripartite Tractate, fearing that their mystical and individualistic approach to spirituality could undermine the authority of the clergy. As a result, many of these texts were destroyed or hidden away to protect them from destruction. This is why the Nag Hammadi discovery is so significant. It brought back to light a wealth of spiritual wisdom that had been buried for centuries. And among these texts, the Tripartite Tractate stands out as a profound exploration of divine mysteries. In many ways, the Tripartite Tractate represents a lost chapter in the story of Christianity, a chapter that challenges us to think deeply about the nature of God, the cosmos, and our place within it. Why does it matter? You might be wondering, why should we care about an ancient text that was buried for so long? The answer lies in its relevance to our modern spiritual journey. The Tripartite Tractate speaks to universal questions that humanity has grappled with for centuries. Who are we? Where do we come from? What is the purpose of life? Its teachings encourage us to look beyond surface-level reality and explore the deeper truths of existence. But perhaps most importantly, it invites us to reconnect with the divine spark within ourselves, a reminder that we are more than just physical beings. We are part of a greater, infinite source of life and love, and this is just the beginning. In the next part of this video, we'll dive into the core teachings of the Tripartite Tractate and uncover the profound secrets it has to offer. Now that we understand how the Tripartite Tractate was discovered and why it was hidden, it's time to dive into its profound teachings. This text isn't just a historical curiosity, it's a spiritual masterpiece that reveals deep truths about the universe, the divine, and our place within it. Let's explore its three key sections in detail. 1. The nature of the divine, the monad and unity. The Tripartite Tractate begins with an exploration of the nature of God, referred to as the monad. Unlike the personal, anthropomorphic God often depicted in mainstream religion, the monad is described as infinite, eternal, and incomprehensible, a source of pure existence that transcends all duality. The text emphasizes that the monad is beyond human understanding. It cannot be described in terms of physical attributes or emotional states. Instead, it exists as the ultimate reality, the origin of everything, and the essence of all life. One of the most striking aspects of this teaching is its focus on unity. The Tripartite Tractate tells us that everything, every being, every thought, every particle of existence emanates from the monad. In other words, the entire cosmos is an extension of this divine source. This perspective challenges the dualistic thinking that often dominates religious discourse. Instead of dividing existence into good and evil, or spirit and matter, the Tripartite Tractate invites us to see all things as interconnected aspects of the same divine reality. This idea has profound implications. It means that we too are part of the monad. Each of us carries within us a divine spark, a fragment of this infinite source, and our ultimate purpose is to awaken to this truth and reconnect with our origin, the creation of the cosmos, emanations and the aeons. The second section of the Tripartite Tractate delves into the creation of the universe. But unlike the Genesis account, this text presents a more intricate and mystical explanation. Instead of a single act of creation, it describes a process of emanation. The monad, in its infinite abundance, generates a series of divine beings called aeons. These aeons are extensions of the monad's essence, each representing a specific aspect of divine truth, such as wisdom, love, or power. Imagine the monad as a brilliant sun, and the aeons as rays of light radiating from it. Each aeon carries the essence of the monad but expresses it in a unique way. Together they form the pleroma, or the fullness of divine existence. However, the story doesn't end there. The material world, according to the Tripartite Tractate, was not created directly by the monad or the aeons. Instead, it was brought into being by a lower, imperfect entity, often associated with the demiurge. The demiurge, unaware of its divine origin, creates the physical world as we know it, a realm of imperfection, limitation, and illusion. This explains why the material world often feels disconnected from the divine and why suffering and chaos exist. But here's where the Tripartite Tractate diverges from other Gnostic texts. Instead of rejecting the material world as inherently evil, it acknowledges its role in the greater cosmic plan. The material realm is a stepping stone, a place where souls can awaken to their true nature and begin their journey back to the monad. The role of humanity. Awakening the divine spark. The third section of the Tripartite Tractate is perhaps the most relevant to us. It focuses on humanity's role in the cosmic drama and the path to spiritual enlightenment. The text teaches that each human being carries a fragment of the divine within, a spark of the monad. This spark is often buried beneath layers of ignorance, illusion, and attachment to the material world. Our task, according to the Tripartite Tractate, is to awaken this divine spark. This awakening is what the Gnostics call gnosis, or spiritual knowledge. It's not about blind faith or external rituals. It's about direct, experiential understanding of our divine origin and purpose. But how do we achieve this awakening? Self-reflection and inner knowledge. The first step is to look inward. By examining our thoughts, emotions, and desires, we can begin to see through the illusions of the material world and recognize our true nature. Detachment from material illusions. The material world, while not inherently evil, is full of distractions that can keep us from our spiritual path. Detachment doesn't mean renouncing life, but seeing it for what it is, a temporary stage in a greater journey. Connection with the divine source. Through meditation, contemplation, and acts of love, we can strengthen our connection with the monad and align ourselves with its infinite wisdom. Ultimately, the Tripartite Tractate teaches that salvation is not something given to us by an external deity. It's something we achieve by recognizing and embodying our divine essence. In this way, we become co-creators with the monad, participating in the ongoing process of divine expression. What makes the teachings of the Tripartite Tractate so revolutionary is their focus on individual empowerment. Unlike traditional religious doctrines that emphasize obedience to external authority, this text invites us to take responsibility for our own spiritual journey. The Tripartite Tractate's vision of humanity is deeply optimistic. It sees us not as flawed, sinful beings in need of redemption, but as divine sparks temporarily veiled by illusion. This perspective is both liberating and challenging. It frees us from the constraints of dogma, but also requires us to take an active role in our spiritual evolution. It's a call to awaken, to seek knowledge, and to live in harmony with our divine essence. The core teachings of the Tripartite Tractate are as profound as they are timeless. They remind us that we are not separate from the divine, but intimately connected to it. They challenge us to look beyond the surface of reality and discover the infinite source of life within ourselves. In the next part of this video, we'll explore why these teachings were considered so dangerous and why they were excluded from the Bible. Stay tuned as we uncover the controversies and secrets surrounding this remarkable text. Now that we've uncovered the core teachings of the Tripartite Tractate, it's time to address a crucial question. Why was such a profound text excluded from the Bible? Why did it remain hidden for centuries, buried in the sands of Nag Hammadi? This part of the story is as much about power and politics as it is about theology. The exclusion of the Tripartite Tractate sheds light on how the early Christian church shaped its doctrine and how alternative perspectives were silenced in the process. 1. The rise of orthodoxy, the suppression of alternative teachings. In the early centuries of Christianity, the faith was far from unified. There were many competing interpretations of Jesus' teachings, and the Gnostics were among the most prominent groups. They offered a mystical, deeply personal approach to spirituality that stood in stark contrast to the emerging orthodoxy. By the 4th century AD, Christianity was becoming institutionalized under the Roman Empire. The Emperor Constantine had converted to Christianity, and the Church began to consolidate its authority. This led to the establishment of a canonical Bible, but not all writings were welcomed into this canon. The early Church leaders viewed Gnostic texts, including the Tripartite Tractate, as dangerous. Why? Because these texts challenged the authority of the clergy and promoted a direct, personal connection with the divine. Gnostic teachings emphasized inner knowledge, gnosis, over external rituals, and they questioned the rigid hierarchies of the Church. For example, the Tripartite Tractate taught that salvation came from self-realization and spiritual awakening, not from adherence to dogma or the mediation of priests. This was a direct threat to the Church's growing power. If individuals could access divine truth on their own, what need would they have for an institutional church? To preserve their authority, the Church labeled these texts as heretical and sought to erase them from history. The politics of heresy, why the Tripartite Tractate was dangerous. But it wasn't just the theological content of the Tripartite Tractate that made it controversial. Its underlying message was profoundly revolutionary, even subversive. The text's emphasis on unity, on the interconnectedness of all things, stood in opposition to the dualistic worldview that the Church promoted. By framing the world as a battleground between good and evil, heaven and hell, the Church could control the narrative of salvation and maintain its influence over believers. The Tripartite Tractate, however, offered a more nuanced perspective. It suggested that all of existence, even the material world, was part of the divine plan. This inclusive view undermined the Church's strict dichotomies and its reliance on fear-based control. Furthermore, the Tripartite Tractate encouraged individuals to look within for answers, rather than relying on external authorities. In a time when the Church sought to centralize its power, this was a deeply threatening idea. 3. The survival of the Tripartite Tractate. Hidden truths. So, how did the Tripartite Tractate survive when so many other Gnostic texts were lost? The answer lies in the courage and foresight of the people who hid these writings. As the Church intensified its efforts to suppress heretical teachings, Gnostic communities took drastic measures to preserve their sacred texts. The codices found in Nag Hammadi were likely buried by monks or members of a Gnostic sect who feared persecution. These individuals understood the value of what they were protecting. They knew that these teachings held truths that transcended time and dogma, truths that could inspire future generations, even if they had to remain hidden for centuries. It's remarkable to think that the Tripartite Tractate and other Gnostic writings might have been lost forever, if not for their discovery in 1945. This moment of rediscovery was nothing short of a spiritual awakening for scholars and seekers around the world. The enduring relevance of the Tripartite Tractate. Now that we've uncovered the history and suppression of the Tripartite Tractate, let's turn our attention to its enduring relevance. Why does this ancient text still matter today? At its core, the Tripartite Tractate addresses universal questions that resonate with people across cultures and eras. Who are we? Why are we here? How can we reconnect with the divine? Its teachings remind us that spirituality is not about following rigid rules or conforming to external authority. It's about awakening to our true nature and living in harmony with the greater whole. In a world increasingly divided by ideology and materialism, the Tripartite Tractate offers a message of unity and interconnectedness. It challenges us to see beyond surface-level differences and recognize the divine spark in ourselves and others. Moreover, the text's emphasis on self-knowledge is especially relevant in our modern age. With so many external distractions, social media, consumerism, and political polarization, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. The Tripartite Tractate invites us to turn inward and rediscover our divine essence. 5. What can we learn from its exclusion? The exclusion of the Tripartite Tractate from the Bible is a reminder of the dangers of institutional control over spiritual truth. It shows us how powerful organizations can shape the narrative of history, often at the expense of diversity and individual freedom. By exploring suppressed texts like the Tripartite Tractate, we can reclaim lost wisdom and broaden our understanding of spirituality. These texts challenge us to question established norms and seek a deeper, more authentic connection with the divine. They also remind us that truth is not the exclusive property of any one institution or belief system. It's something we must each seek out for ourselves, guided by our own experiences and inner knowing. The story of the Tripartite Tractate is not just about an ancient text. It's about the power of knowledge, the resilience of truth, and the enduring quest for spiritual awakening. Its teachings challenge us to think deeply, live authentically, and reconnect with the divine within and around us. In the end, the Tripartite Tractate reminds us that the greatest mysteries of life cannot be confined to a single book or doctrine. They are written in the cosmos, in the depths of our souls, and in the timeless wisdom that speaks to those who dare to seek it. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the hidden wisdom of the Tripartite Tractate. If you found this exploration meaningful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content, uncovering the mysteries of ancient texts and spiritual truth. In this final part of our journey, we move from understanding the history and teachings of the Tripartite Tractate to exploring its practical relevance today. How can this ancient text, buried for centuries, actually transform our lives in the modern world? The Tripartite Tractate isn't just a historical relic. It's a living source of wisdom. Its teachings offer tools for personal growth, spiritual awakening, and navigating life's challenges with a deeper sense of purpose. Let's uncover how we can apply its insights to our everyday existence. 1. Embracing the divine within. Awaken your inner light. One of the most empowering messages of the Tripartite Tractate is its affirmation of the divine spark within each of us. But what does it mean to awaken this inner light, and how can we do it? The text teaches that our essence is not separate from the monad, the ultimate source of all existence. This means we carry the infinite within us, even if it's obscured by the distractions of the material world. Practical steps to awaken your divine spark. Daily reflection. Spend time each day in quiet contemplation. Ask yourself, what am I beyond my roles, achievements, or possessions? The more you reflect, the closer you'll come to sensing the eternal essence that resides within you. Meditation on unity. Visualize yourself as part of a vast, interconnected web of life. Feel your connection to all things, people, nature, and the cosmos itself. This practice can dissolve the illusion of separation and deepen your understanding of unity. Acts of compassion recognize the divine spark in others by treating them with kindness and understanding. Every time you honor another person's essence, you're also honoring your own. Awakening your inner light is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey of aligning with your true nature and living from a place of authenticity and love. 2. Understanding life's challenges, the role of the material world. The Tripartite Tractate offers a transformative perspective on the material world. Instead of viewing it as a prison or punishment, it invites us to see it as a school for the soul. The imperfections and struggles of the material realm are not obstacles to be avoided. They are opportunities for growth. Every challenge, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, is a lesson designed to help us awaken to our divine potential. Reframing challenges through the teachings of the Tripartite Tractate. See struggles as catalysts. When faced with difficulties, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can this experience help me grow closer to my true self? Detach without apathy. The Tripartite Tractate encourages detachment, but this doesn't mean indifference. It means seeing life's ups and downs without losing sight of the bigger picture. Trust the process. Just as the material world is part of the divine plan, so too are the experiences within it. Trust that everything has a purpose, even if it's not immediately clear. By changing the way we view challenges, we can transform suffering into wisdom and adversity into strength. 3. Connecting with the monad, aligning with the infinite source. The Tripartite Tractate reveals that our ultimate goal is to reconnect with the monad. But how can we do this in a world filled with distractions and noise? The key lies in intentional living, choosing to align your thoughts, actions, and desires with the higher truths revealed by the text. Ways to reconnect with the monad. Silence and stillness. In the silence, the voice of the monad becomes clearer. Spend time in nature or create a sacred space where you can sit in stillness. Creative expression. The monad is the source of all creation. By expressing yourself creatively, whether through art, music, writing, or problem-solving, you can tap into this divine flow. Study and contemplation. The wisdom of ancient texts like the Tripartite Tractate can guide you toward deeper truths. Make time to study spiritual works and reflect on their meaning in your life. Reconnecting with the monad is not about escaping life, but embracing it fully, with the awareness that every moment is a reflection of the infinite. 4. Living with Gnosis, becoming a co-creator. Perhaps the most revolutionary teaching of the Tripartite Tractate is its call to live with Gnosis, spiritual knowledge. This is not about passive belief, it's about active participation in the divine process. The text encourages us to become co-creators with the monad, shaping our lives and the world around us in alignment with divine truth. How to live with Gnosis. Set intentions. Begin each day by setting an intention that aligns with your highest values. Ask yourself, how can I bring more light into the world today? Act with awareness. Every action, no matter how small, is an opportunity to express the divine. Be mindful of your choices and their impact on others and the environment. Share wisdom. True Gnosis is not meant to be hoarded. Share your insights with others, not to preach, but to inspire and uplift. Living with Gnosis means recognizing your role in the unfolding of the divine plan. It's about taking responsibility for your life and contributing to the greater good. The call to awaken, a universal message. The Tripartite Tractate's teachings are as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. They remind us of our true nature, challenge us to rise above illusions, and inspire us to live with purpose and grace. In a world increasingly fragmented by conflict, materialism, and fear, the message of the Tripartite Tractate is a beacon of hope. It calls us to awaken, to see ourselves and each other as reflections of the infinite source. This awakening is not just a personal journey, it's a collective one. As more people embrace these truths, we can create a world that reflects the unity, love, and wisdom of the monad. The secrets of the Tripartite Tractate are not secrets at all. They are universal truths waiting to be rediscovered by those who seek them. By embracing its teachings, we can transform not only our own lives, but the world around us. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these insights have resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Together, let's continue to explore the timeless wisdom of ancient texts and unlock the mysteries of existence. As we reach the end of our exploration into the Tripartite Tractate, we are left with more than just the words of an ancient text. We are left with a deeper understanding of ourselves, our connection to the divine, and the world around us. Throughout this series, we've uncovered the hidden wisdom of the Tripartite Tractate, wisdom that has survived centuries of suppression, only to resurface in a modern world desperate for spiritual guidance. But this is not just about ancient knowledge. It's about how this knowledge can awaken something profound within each of us today. The teachings of the Tripartite Tractate invite us to see the divine within ourselves and others, to approach life with a sense of unity rather than separation. It challenges us to look beyond the material world's illusions and awaken to the higher truths that lie hidden beneath the surface. In a world filled with division, confusion, and fear, the teachings of the Tripartite Tractate offer a roadmap for inner peace and collective transformation. It asks us to embrace our divine essence and, in doing so, heal ourselves and the world around us. As we part ways with this ancient text, let's carry its lessons forward. Let's continue to seek the hidden truths of the world, not in places of external power, but within our own hearts. For the secret of life is not hidden in a distant past. It is here, now, waiting for us to awaken to it. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. What part of the Tripartite Tractate did you find most meaningful? I'd love to hear your thoughts and continue the discussion in the comments. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss future videos where we dive even deeper into the mysteries of the universe. See you in the next video.